Happy Tuesday. Hello, Robin. Hello, hello. As you're popping on, say hello. Marianne, hello. How's everybody doing? Everybody keeping warm? Barbara, hello. Maureen, welcome. Hey, Susan. Gabrielle, hello, hello. So today, December 20th, 2022, will be our last technique talk for this year, for 2022. We will start up again January 3rd, I think I posted, which is the first Tuesday of 2023. I'm going to take a little break next week from all kinds of work things. Hey, Mary. Howdy, howdy. So we'll give it a minute, and then we'll get started. We are going to use paint in embossing folders, or a embossing folder. I only pulled one out, but you can use it in any embossing folder, this technique. Hey, Lois. Welcome to Technique Talk on this fine Tuesday where it's 30 degrees here at my house. Not inside, but outside. Hey, Janice. Everybody doing okay? So just again, I'll say that this will be the last Technique Talk Tuesday for this year, 2022. We will start up again with all sorts of fun new stuff in 2023. And I think the first one will be January 3rd. I think that's the first Tuesday. Everyone should be recuperated from their big New Year's Eve. I'm not a big New Year's Eve person, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's get started. Want to? We are going to talk about using some acrylic paint. Got some garbage on my mat here. Acrylic paint in embossing folders. This happens to be a 3D embossing folder. It's one of the new ones from Tim Holtz. It is, oh, when will I learn to wear my glasses? It doesn't have the name of it, but it's the pine branches. So this is, these are some samples that I did. So this is using some acrylic paint. Well, these all are, so I'm just going to show you. So you can see, and I'm going to do both of these techniques. One is with white acrylic paint on the flat side, so you can see that's kind of fun. I'll tell you, I did a few. This one turned out nice. This one looked good except for that blob right there. But I did learn a lot of things. This one right here is my favorite. And I think that after you do this technique, you will have to flatten it out a little bit. But when you adhere it to a card base or to whatever you're doing, it will flatten out. But the first way I like to show you is using white. I have to feel which way, if this is debossed or embossed. So this is using white acrylic paint on the side where it goes in. So I guess that's the debossed side. So this is flat, and then the branches are kind of engraved in. And I am trying real hard to watch the chat. So if you have any questions, just shout them out or type them in, and I will make sure that I get to them. So I'm putting a little acrylic paint. This is the one of the acrylic paints that we carry in the store. This is the Dina Wakley. It's the one I use all the time, and that's just white. And I'm using my Big Shot over here off camera. So what I am going to do first is roll, this is one of my brayers. It's the only one I could locate here in the studio, so it's the one I'm using. Put some paint on the brayer and then put the paint on the embossing folder. Now, if you are a person who really wants to keep your things nice and clean and neat, you're gonna have to make sure that you wash this right away. So you lay your paper, I'm using some green so it shows up well for you, on that, and then just fold the embossing folder and run it through your machine, whichever machine you use, with whichever sandwich works for your machine for 3D embossing folders. And this one is just a little light, kind of looks like snow, you can see, so it's a really subtle background. Now, you could take some water. I don't have another piece of green. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to find a darkish piece of paper. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. And I'm ripping it too because I don't have my cutter right here. Okay, you could also take some water and spray your paint. And then put a piece of paper in here and run it through again. Let's see what we get. You see my arm cranking over there? All right, let's see what we get. We got nothing. I let the paint dry too much, but what you would get if you sprayed the paint is a look like this, where it looks just a little bit watery. But this is a really nice subtle background that gives the texture that you get from the embossing folder a little bit of dimension, we'll call it, okay? So the other way that you can do this technique, I really let my paint dry, didn't I? Okay. The other way that you can do this technique is to use paint on the embossing side. So this is the side that's kind of, the texture is up, okay? So what I did was I took a little dauber and I used, I'm gonna change up the color. I know it's crazy. This is a little bit of olive green, and I am going to, again, this is Dina Wakley acrylic paint, and fur. All right, so 2 greens. So I usually start with the darker one and just take a little bit on my dauber, and I don't know if you can see where, you know, this is raised, but I just dab some paint. Make sure you keep it on the raised part or you get little blobs, okay? And I'm not worrying too much about getting every little part of what is raised up, because what I found in my experimentation is that when you add some water, it moves it around really nicely, so you get this kind of a look that fills in the branches. And then I'm layering a little bit of the olive on top to get a little bit of dimension. So this is just a regular foam dauber. You can use any size that you're comfortable with. You might feel comfortable with a smaller one. I don't know. And then what I did was hey Marilyn, sprayed a little water, not too much. Put my paper in here, in the embossing folder, close it up. and ran it through my machine. I'm using the Big Shot, but whatever machine you have, as I mentioned, with whatever sandwich you have. And then you get this nice color in here. And then you can do some little spritzes of water on here and move some of your paint around a little bit. Give you a nice background there. Now you still have a pretty decent amount of paint on here. A little bit more water. Another piece of paper, and let's see what we get. We don't want to waste any of that paint. You'll have to experiment a little bit with your color combinations and with how much paint works for you, but when this dries, from my finger, when this dries, this will be really nice, and you can do some nice splatters with white, or do some of the stenciling with the opaque paste or the snowfall paste. I'm gonna wipe a little bit of that paint off before I stick my arm in it. It's been one of those days. All right, so again, this is just using white paint brayered on the debossed side where it goes in. This was a one that I did with white paint, the same, with a little bit of water sprayed, so that I got another take on that. And then this one too, these two were also two different variations. This one looks like it's just got snowfall on the edges of the branches. This one is the first one, and I probably put a little bit too much paint on there. That is why it's a little bit thicker on these branches. But when it dries, it will lighten up a little bit, and you can dab it off a little and add some water. But these ones that you do the second time around, these are the ones that are my favorite. If I didn't put my finger all over it, these two were second goes, and those are the ones that look really good. And then this one is really nice too, where I was a little bit more controlled with the amount of paint that I put on. And then I did one here that is on the green paper, so you can see you could do kind of a tone on tone with the green. Now you can use a dauber that's this size, or you can use a smaller dauber and be more direct, you know, where you want to put the paint. All right, so that's a fun technique that you can do with any embossing folder, really. This was just the newest embossing folder that I had, and I wanted to try. But you could do it with any kind of background embossing folders. It would probably be really nice with one of those plaid embossing folders too. You would get a very cool mixed media look. Like I said, if you're very particular about your embossing folders, make sure that you get them, either toss them into a bucket of water right away or spray them and get them wiped off. Once the paint dries, it's not going to transfer onto any of your other projects, but if you let it get into all of these crevices, it might alter the way that your embossing folder embosses. Use the Boma wipes. All right, does anybody have any questions? Sorry, I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention now. Any questions? All right, well, I hope that everybody has a great holiday. Don't forget, the Gnome of the Month Club is available for pre-order, and the first gnome will be revealed on the private Facebook page for members on January 1st. So we've got that going on. Coupon books are for sale. There's the gift card promotion that's going on in the store, where if you buy $50 in gift cards, you get an additional $5. So if you've got anybody you need to do some gift giving to, or if there's anything you want to let people know what to get for you, right? Gift cards are always awesome, and then an extra $5 that can be spent in January is even better. So if we don't see you this year, we look forward to a fun and fabulous 2023. And everybody have a very happy and merry and safe holiday. Hope you get to spend lots of time with your family and friends, and you get to relax and enjoy. All right, everybody, if there are no questions, I am going to go wrap presents because, well, what are we at? 4 days till Christmas? I got some wrapping to do. All right, everybody. Merry Christmas. Enjoy, and we'll be talking to you again with a new fun technique in 2023. Thank you.